You're going to start sitting up nice and tall and close your eyes. And just begin to take some longer breaths as you bring your hands together in front of the heart. Setting our intention today, may our practice give us peace of mind, freedom from anxiety, bring us peace and joy. And now, if you would like to sit up on something, we're going to sit just a little bit longer before we start moving into our postures. So I'm sitting up on a block, and if you have something like a block to sit on or a folded blanket or a pillow, I recommend to get the hips higher than the knees. And as you're settling in again, start to think of something or someone that you're grateful for. And then keeping that in mind, I do just a little bit of pranayama practice. So in a moment, we'll inhale all the way up to the top and then exhale in thirds. So you'll exhale a third of it out, pause, another third, and then another third till you're empty. And then you'll take a long breath in again. So comfortable inhale, comfortable exhale. And now take a long inhale all the way up to the top. And hold it. Pull the belly in, drop the chin down. Now as you exhale, just exhale the chest. And now exhale a little bit more through the rib cage, about a third more. And then exhale all the way out till you're empty. Pull your belly in and up. And then release it. Inhale all the way up to the top again and hold. And then again, exhaling just about a third. Exhale the chest. And then through the rib cage. And then exhale through the belly. Exhale all the air out. Pull the belly and hold it out a moment. And then inhale again all the way up to the top. Nice long breath. Inhaling and hold. Drop the chin slightly. Pull the belly in, holding the breath. And then exhale just about a third and hold it. Exhale through the rib cage, another third. Hold the breath out. And then exhale it all out gently. At the bottom of the exhale, pull the belly in and up. Hold the breath out a moment. And then again, big inhale all the way up to the top. Inhaling, inhaling, and hold. And then again, exhale just the chest. And pause. And now exhale through the rib cage and pause. And then exhale all the way out till you're empty. Pull the belly in and up. Pause. And then once again, inhale all the way to the top. Sip in a little extra air if you can and hold. And now exhale about a third, exhaling the chest and hold. And then exhale through the rib cage, about another third, hold. And then empty it all out, holding the breath out. And again, inhale all the way up, a nice long breath. Sit up nice and tall, hold the breath. Lift the belly, lift the pelvic floor muscles. And then exhale about a third and hold it out. And exhale about another third. And then all the way out until you're empty. Pull the belly in and up. Hold the breath out a moment. Release. Inhale again all the way up to the top. And hold it. And then just exhaling a third and hold. And another third and hold. And all the way out until you're empty. Take a long breath in. And now take the soles of your feet together. You can sit up on that block, or if you're sitting on something or not. We're going to come into Supta Baddha Konasana, or not Supta, just Baddha Konasana. And I have my block on top of my feet so that I can rest my head there. So you can rest your head on a block. You could also rest your head on some blankets, some pillows. So just fold forward, and instead of worrying about having a long spine, go ahead and relax into this. So part of what we do in this practice is we let go and relax and release. So as you're here, do your best to let go, release any tension. And I have a quote here as you are resting in this first posture from Boethius. Nothing is miserable unless you think it's so. And, on the other hand, nothing brings happiness unless you are content with it. So just a couple more breaths here. If you want to go in a little bit deeper here toward the end of this first stretch, you may. Just another few breaths. See if you can relax a little bit deeper into the stretch. Notice if you're holding any place, and if you are, maybe you can just surrender a bit more. As you take your final breaths here, allow yourself to sink in. Maybe let your head completely go for a breath or two. And very slowly, just taking your time, begin to come out of this, maybe just a little bit at first. And maybe just a little bit more as you start to take some longer breaths. As you inhale, slowly come up to seated and pause a moment. And then take your knees together. Use your hands to help prop them together, crossing at your shins, and then move your props out of the way if you have some there. Make your way into child's pose. Take the hips back, hands and knees as you inhale. Bring the chest forward first. Lift your chin and tailbone up, and then exhale to round the back. Press away from the floor, chin toward chest. And again, inhaling. Bring the chest forward, widen across your collarbones as you exhale. Round the back, pull the belly in and up, tucking the tailbone. And again, inhale. Bring your heart forward through the gates of your arms as you lift your chin and tailbone gently. As you exhale, press away from the floor, rounding your back. And then inhaling. Back to your cow pose once more. Let the belly drop and the hips lift. And as you exhale again into your cat, rounding the back. And then this time we'll take the hips back to the heels into child's pose. And you may choose to rest your head on that block again, or if you have a towel or a rolled blanket. And then lift your hips up so that they're right above your knees. And take your elbows onto the mat, letting your forehead rest, or perhaps your chin will rest down. Maybe your head will rest on the block, and elbows bent, palms touch. Take the hands behind the back of your neck. This one is a really nice pose to stretch the chest, and the upper back, and the shoulders. It's called Anahatasana, or open heart posture. We're going to stay here breathing for just a few more breaths. Not as long as we stayed in the last posture. I'm going to quote from Dr. Wayne Dyer. Peace is the result of retraining your mind to process life as it is, rather than as you think it should be. Just a few more breaths, maybe coming in a little bit deeper here if you like. Just making sure to relax without any pain. We don't want to have pain, but it's okay to feel a stretch. Let everything release, any tension. Let it go, especially around the shoulders and the jaw. And then just very slowly begin to walk yourself back into child's pose, letting your head rest on the mat or on your block, pillow, blanket, whatever you have. And if you don't have any pillows or blankets handy, it might be a good time to push the pause button and grab a few. The more you have, the more you can relax. Especially if you feel a little bit tight in the hamstrings, you'll want some pillows and blankets coming up in a moment. Otherwise, just allow yourself to relax here in child's pose for just a few breaths. And as you're relaxing, a quote from Judith Lassiter. Taking time out each day to relax and renew is essential to living well. And now just bring your arms along your side and let your right ear come down to the mat. It may or may not touch, but you'll stretch that side of your neck a little bit here. As you allow yourself to completely relax and release any tension around the shoulders. And then take your head to center and turn it to the other side so the left ear is facing or touching the floor. And then just allow the weight of the head to release. Letting go again of any tension that you could be holding around the neck, the jaw, and really anywhere in your body. Release the belly. Just let it all go. Bring your head to center. And then slowly make your way up. Bringing your right foot forward so your right knee and ankle line up. If you have blocks handy, you can bring them on either side of your foot. Drawing the right hip gently back, and then walk your right foot maybe to the right just gently, bringing your hands on the inside of the right foot, so the big toe side on the blocks if you'd like, or you might choose to go in a little bit deeper and take your forearms down onto the blocks. And as long as you don't experience any pain, now stretching is feeling a little uncomfortable, but as long as you don't have any sharp pains, you can really just let yourself sink in and relax as much as possible. We don't have to worry as much about alignment when we practice our yin poses. As we stay here just a little bit longer, I have a quote from Sidney J. Harris, who said, "The time to relax is when you don't have time for it." Maybe go in just a little bit deeper now if you can. You might even allow that right knee to sort of fall away from your right shoulder. You could even roll onto the little toe side of your right foot. And sometimes Just holding these postures a little bit longer can bring up discomfort in the mind. Sometimes we can feel a little anxious holding these postures. So if that's the case, you're always welcome to come out. So we'll slowly come out of that one. And then we'll go to the other side, stepping the left foot forward. So as you start off, just have your knee over your ankle to begin. You can keep the hands on either side of the left foot if that is more comfortable. Or take your hands on the big toe side of your left foot. And I like that one myself because I get into the outer hip a little bit more. So basically just do on this side what you did on the first side. That's always your best bet. And then you can stay with hands on the blocks, or perhaps you'll come down to your forearms and allow yourself to, again, just as much as you can, release, relax into it. If it starts to become uncomfortable, shift your attention to your breath and shift your attention to what you are grateful for today. From Joseph Addison, 3 grand essentials to happiness in this life are something to do, something to love, and something to hope for. So allow yourself to sink in a little deeper if you can. Maybe letting that left knee draw away from the shoulder, or even coming onto the little toe side of the left foot now. And then very slowly begin to make your way out of it, taking your time. And then come to lie onto your belly, all the way onto your belly, and let your forehead rest on your hands. So lying on your belly, lying prone like this, can be very relaxing for many of us. So if you do tend to experience anxiety, try this, lying right like this on your belly. And then from here, make sure your toes are straight back behind you and all 10 toenails are on the floor, and come up onto your forearms. Now, we do want to protect the lower back, so pull your belly away from the floor. You can keep your forearms down, either crossing like I have mine, or your hands in front of you like Sphinx pose. Either way works. But as you're here, again, just see if you can find a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of surrender. But we do want to be careful of the back, so keep lengthening your sitting bones toward your heels, especially if you have the kind of back that gets a little bit cranky from time to time. And then just close your eyes. If at any point it gets to be a little much, then go down lower. maybe a little cobra pose, or you can just lie right down on your belly. If at any point you would like to take it a little deeper, then you could straighten out the elbows and prop your hands up onto the mat, going in a little bit deeper. But again, please watch the back. For a quote from Anne Lamott, "Hope begins in the dark. The stubborn hope that if you just show up and try to do the right thing, the dawn will come. You wait and watch and work. You don't give up." If you'd like to take a little break, I recommend it if that would feel good, or if you can stay with it longer, you may do that as well. So any amount of back bend here is perfect. Just be sure that you're keeping your lower back lengthened and relaxing as much as you can at the same time. It's kind of difficult sometimes to find that balance, but keep practicing it. And then we'll come down and take a little break here. Again, just lying flat on your belly with your forehead resting on the hands and the elbows bent. And slide your hands next to your rib cage so that you can press yourself up, and returning to child's pose, the hips back toward the heels again. If it would feel good to you, feel free to shift your hips gently from side to side to release any tension that you might be feeling in your lower back. Take some long, smooth breaths, inhaling from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. Exhaling, crown of the head to the base of the spine. And now take your right ear down to the mat, looking toward the left side. And you can take your left hand by your side, your left arm by your side. The right arm can stay forward. And then head to center, extending the left arm forward, bring the right arm by your side and come down onto the left ear so you're looking toward the right side. Just allow your head to be heavy. Again, just take your attention back to your breath. And then head to center and bring your hands under your shoulders so you can press yourself up. Take your hips off to one side, sitting down, and then you can turn and face the long side of the mat if you want to keep your heels padded up. Keeping the left knee bent, extend the right leg out to the side. Then turn your torso over the right leg and allow yourself to just fold over that right leg. If you've got something that you can rest your head on, I would recommend putting blankets, pillows. If it's hard to reach your foot, I'd recommend holding it with a strap. And you can let your back round here, so again, so that it's comfortable. And now allow yourself to just relax. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope." Allow yourself to sink in a little bit deeper if you can. Feel free to rest your head or your whole torso on as many pillows as you like. Just be here for a few more breaths. Lifting your head on your inhale, slowly make your way back up. And then bending the right leg, extending the left leg out. So that's what I'm doing. If you're facing me, though, you can always do the same leg, which would be the opposite. Turning over toward the straight leg, and then allow yourself to just fold over that leg. And if your back rounds and your head sinks for this one, it's okay today. But feel free to use blankets and pillows, whatever you have to make it comfortable. Dr. Wayne Dyer said, "You can't always control what goes on outside, but you can always control what goes on inside." And then as you take your next inhale, slowly make your way up and take both legs out wide. Taking the right hand on the inside of the right foot. And then take your torso to lie now on the side of the torso. And the left arm can come up around your left ear. So instead of stretching the back of the body, we're stretching the side of the body a little bit more. And toes and knees point up toward the ceiling, but we don't have to hold them. So let your head rest on blocks, blankets, pillows. A quote now from Sri Kumar Rao. But first come back to center and we'll go to the other side. So coming over to the left side and stretching the side body with your right arm over in line with your ear. Once you accept, truly accept that stuff will happen to you and there's nothing you can do about it, stress miraculously leaves your life. As you take your inhale, make your way back to center, keeping the legs wide. And we'll just come forward any amount. So again, rest your head, your belly, your whole body on whatever pillows, blankets, blocks you have so that you can just sink in. Again, toes and knees will point up toward the ceiling, but we don't have to hold them. And then just breathing here. Focus again on what you're grateful for. As you inhale, slowly make your way up. And then we'll turn toward the front of the mat and take a table and then back into a child's pose. So just stretching out the spine here again in child's pose. The knees can be wider or closer together, whatever feels more comfortable for you. And then making your way up, we're going to come into pigeon pose, a hip stretch. However, if this hurts your knees, then instead of pigeon, you'll come onto your back and take thread the needle or another hip stretch that you know. That does not hurt your knees because that is important. We do not want to hurt our knees. So the right foot will be in front. Be sure the left leg is straight back behind you. And please pat up your head as much as you like so that you're comfortable, because we will stay here for a few minutes. Each of these postures, we're staying for about 3 to 5 minutes, so you do the best that you can. Now another option is to bend that back knee, kind of sink over towards your right hip a little bit more if that's comfortable. Or if you are going to keep that back leg straight, then keep your hips level. So you might want to prop up your right hip with a blanket so that it's level with the left hip. This is a Spanish proverb. How beautiful it is to do nothing and then to rest afterward. Slowly begin to make your way back up. Back onto the hands and knees so you can bring your left leg forward into pigeon. Now, even if the right leg forward didn't bother your knee, check if the left does. If it does, instead come onto your back for thread the needle. And just like on the first side, if that back leg is straight behind you, keep your hips level and you can pat up your left hip with a blanket or pillow. Or if you would like, you can bend the back knee, and that would allow you to roll onto the left hip a little bit more. And I want you to pay attention and notice if one hip feels tighter than the other hip. Just noticing. And now an English proverb. Worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. And then slowly on your next inhale, come back up onto the hands and knees and pause a moment. So whichever hip felt tighter, we're going to do that one more time. So my right hip is always a little tighter than my left, so I'm bringing my right leg forward again. Or if you're on your back, threading your needle, to that side that was tighter. If you don't have a tighter side, I'll let you know halfway through, and then you can just switch legs so that you're even. But most of us have a side that is tighter. Come back to your breathing. See if you can sink in just a little bit deeper, especially the second time. If you didn't notice one side being tighter than the other, then switch legs now. Otherwise, stay with that tighter side. A quote from Socrates: "He is richest who is content with the least, for content is the wealth of nature." As you inhale, make your way up slowly. And then taking a blanket or a towel, if you have it, I'm going to take that right to the middle of your back, right about where your bra strap would go across if you're a lady, and or if you wear a bra. Shouldn't say that. Lying back on that blanket, rolled up, or towel. Take the soles of your feet together, let your knees drop apart, and then relax. If you don't have anything to put in your upper back, that's fine too. Just lie back with the soles of your feet together and your knees apart so that you can relax here. Reach down and take your legs together. You can remove that rolled up towel and now put it underneath your neck, the cervical spine, or not. And then drop your knees over to the right and look over your left shoulder for a gentle twist. You may cross your left knee over the right if you want the twist to be a little bit deeper. Take just a couple breaths as you're turning your belly up toward the ceiling. And bring your head to center, uncross the legs, bring the knees to center. And now take your legs over to the left, looking over the right shoulder. If you want a deeper stretch, crossing the right knee on top of the left, turning belly up toward the ceiling gently. A quote from the Upanishads. Even as fire finds peace in its resting place without fuel, when thoughts become silence, the soul finds peace in its own source. When the mind is silent, then it can enter into a world which is far beyond the mind. This is wisdom, and this is liberation. Making your way back through center. And come into a comfortable lying down position. Before we come into our final Savasana, we'll do just one more little pranayama exercise. So on this one, you'll take a long breath in and then exhale it all out till you're empty. And then we'll take the inhale in thirds. So we'll inhale just a little through the belly and hold. Inhale a little bit more into the rib cage, expanding the ribs, and hold. And then inhale all the way up to the top, expanding the chest. Hold the breath in. And then smoothly let it go on your exhale all the way down until you're empty of breath. And then we'll begin again. Inhale and just fill the belly and hold it. Inhale another third, expanding through the rib cage, holding the breath there. And inhale all the way up to the top and hold. And then slowly exhale it all out again until you're empty. This time, bottom of the exhale, pause just a moment, empty, and pull the belly in. and hold the breath out. And then inhale, fill the belly and hold. Inhale again, expand through the rib cage and hold. Inhale all the way up, taking in breath to the top, expanding the chest and the shoulders and hold. And then slowly exhale all the way out until you're empty. One more time. Bottom of your exhale, pause a moment, pulling the belly in, staying empty. And then once again, inhale, just feel the belly about a third of the way up and hold. Inhale through the rib cage and hold. Inhale all the way up to the top. Sip the air in, hold. And then exhale, release it. Now come into natural breathing, into Savasana. Allow your body to completely surrender and relax. A quote from Jonathan Lockwood Hugh. Say no to the demands of the world. Say yes to the longings of your own heart. And begin to make movements in your hands and your feet. Take a long breath, stretch out. And then bending your knees, roll yourself onto your right side. Once again, come back to what you're grateful for. Slowly make your way up to seated. Find a comfortable cross-leg position. Bring your hands together in front of your heart, taking a moment to honor and respect yourself. And then hands to forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to heart center, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And the hands to the mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communication, sending out positive energy to all beings everywhere. Namaste.